I took yarn 100% cotton and 50 grams 280 meters. And hook 1 millimeter. For starters, we need to tie a chain of 8 air loops. Ring ready. Now first row. The first row consists of 4 groups of columns with 1 cape and arches between them. Four times 2, 3, 4. Once, 2, 3. Once, 2. Three. And 4. Now arch again. 3. And thus tie this row. At the end, we need to end up on top of the arch. So we knit somewhat differently. Times 2, 3. And here we are at the top. Move on to the second row. We can cut this thread already. Second row is very simple. Is here. Arches all 5 air loops and columns with 1 cape. First chain we have consists of 8 air loops. Next, everyone will be 5. And continue like this. Finish in the third loop. Times 2, 3. third row is already harder, but you and I will now tie it easily. Arch. Three and four. One. And 3 Varco. Once. 2. And 3. Just 4. And then everything repeats. Last arch and finish the row in the third loop times 2, 3. Next we have the fourth row. And you noticed that groups of columns repeat over each other. And the rest is also simple. As always, 3 air loops. And then the column above the column. Four, 5. Until next redo. All we have only 5 air loops. Then we repeat all 4 angles. This way. This is our last arch, and we finish the row. Move on to the next. The fifth row is similar to the previous one, only on the corner. Here in this central arch, we have 7 columns tied, with 1 cape and 2 more on the sides, a total of 9. First one. Seven under the arch. And 9th. Final column. Here is such a corner. Here it is in the mirror image from this part. And then we need to tie 2 more arches. Then the replay begins. Knit until the end of this row. Finish the 5th row. Sixth row is different. The fact that here in this column group, there will also be a column above the column, but there will be between them 1 air loop. And move on to the group of columns with 1 cape. On the corner, air loop, then the next column. Air loop, and the next column. And so until the end. Veer completed. Move on to the next stage. 4, 5. And begin to repeat the pattern. Here is, and then the pattern repeats in a circle. Last arch and connecting loop. Finish the 7th row. 6th row. Now we will start the 7th. This is how he looks. And here in this faith, between the columns of 2 air loops, and thus tie. Whole corner, tied last arch, and move on to this element. And then we begin to repeat. Role model. Finish the 7th row. And the next 8th row. Here 2 arches, 2 air loops each. But over every column of the previous row, we tie 2 columns with 1 cape. Starting a row as usual. Here's a little nuance. From transition, 4 columns, we have 1 air loop. Then it goes 2, 2, 2, 2 and finish 2, 1 air loop. Be careful. Here same. These are the column groups we will have. Form angle. Remember that here we have one air loop. And then go to four columns. With one naked, then the arch of 5 air loops and the replay begins. Next, we need to repeat it 3 more angles. Finish the 8th row. Arch out of 5 air loops. Eighth row finished. And now we have last row. That's so handsome. And he is the most difficult due to the fact that there is a lot of pico. This is how he looks on the scheme. Well, we will knit with you together. Over 4 columns, we will also have 4 columns, but with one common top. So now we have not 3, but 2 climb loops, making a cape, and tie an incomplete column. Not until the end. And that's when we have 4 loops on the hook. Now we tie everything together. Next, we will have pico. 5 air loops knit. Times 2. And once again 2. Here's our pico turned out. Further, knit 4 more columns with 1 cape and common top. Here same. In the second column. And here in the second column. 5 loops, tie together. And now we do again like this peg. Five times 2. And once again, 2. And move on to the next 2 columns. And tie in exactly the same way. This whole part, reach 2, are here this big arch. Here you and I tied, and now left to tie the last arch. And then the replay will begin again. and repeat the drawing. Now all together. Further. Big. And let us now with you. Tie. Still, here's the side. And when we start knitting this part, stop and I will show you how to join to each other 2 motifs. See how we get everything beautifully? And now we will like this join through pico. On the scheme I will show you now. 4 pico on the side, 4 pico on the side, 2 picos stay in the center. And I came here to this side. We're tied times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pecu, next 4 pecu will join. Here's to this ready already motif. Two, 3. Count times 2, 3, 4. And 1 more. Times 2. Form a bake. And once again. 2. Further knit lush column. That's the kind of joining. We got it. Now join more. In one place. Times 2, 3. Next bake. Times 2, times 2, and once again 2. Continue to knit. Thus, we are joining. Here 2 bake, and here again 2, 3, 4. This is how we had a connection of motifs. 4 here, 4 here. Then we finish this series and complete it. Connecting loop. Finish to the last element and finish the row. 3. 1. 3 times 2. 3. And the top. Connecting loop. Now you need the same. Like here's the square. Moisturize and straighten. And they will be perfect for you and me.